You are on the sunny side and welcome. What day is it? Wednesday. We hold it to be worthy of note. Yeah, the sun rises here. The sun rises over us, over our intention, over our will, over our thinking, over our courage, over our education. The sun rises over the darkness and the darkness disappears. Welcome where the sun rises as far as radio goes. My name's Joyce. My name is Joyce, and I wish I could bring you good tidings. But maybe this is good to the extent to which we understand it. And one way we can understand it is that we're going to utilize the privilege of collective social opinions. Yeah. So again, I hope you're not new to the sunny side. But in the event that you are, nothing lost. The sunny side, we love. We don't like politics too much around here, but yeah, we do it nonetheless as work. And it's Nigerian. And because Nigeria influences about issues regarding Nigeria, so we're in politics, we're in social cultural issues, we're into social political issues, we're into technology, science, we're into like a little bit of conspiracy theory around here, we love philosophy, we're into health, a little bit of history, we touch just about everything. Oh yeah, almost everything. Today on the show, we're gonna look at this bill that's about to be passed, and I want to know what you think about it. The federal government is saying, well, if this pretty much is thoroughly thought out and implemented, you could get fined or imprisoned for not knowing not singing the national anthem, disrupting or destroying national symbols, places of worship. Not too long a list that you could be punished for. Well, I don't know whether you can make it out, but somewhere in all of that, it seems as though without words, it suggests that if you decide to go on a protest, you may cross one of those lines. Now, this is me injecting that thought into your mind. Now, I could be wrong because in a moment, well, maybe a little over an hour now, you would be talking about that. And I want to know how you would interpret it, because, you have legislatures who are thinking for the people. And my assumption is that they're doing their best to bring best foot forwards, but also the best policies that should serve the collective. And if we are approaching, and that's a fair assumption, if we are approaching the conversation from that perspective, I guess then the question should be, how much of this is really for the people? Or is this a way to gag the people? You're going to determine that. Remember, the objective is supposed to be collective and national development for all. All right, so we'll talk about that in a moment. But first, let's talk about something I discovered. So here is the thing. It's not a discovery. I just thought it would be necessary to discuss it today because Nigeria is in the sentence. In, I think it was 2016, there was a UN report that globally the world was becoming resistant to antibiotics. I think I saw that 2015 or 2016. Globally, the world, according to the WHO, was becoming resistant to antibiotics. 2016, 2017, it appeared as though our lives looked like it was going fairly good and nobody really bothered about it, except this year, a month ago, I was reading one of the international news publications, one of the very big international news outlets. I happened to be on their platform and I was just going through international news reports, and antibiotics was something, I think it was a month ago. And they were speaking about global resistance to antibiotics. In fact, if I'm being honest, it seems as though the world in an incremental level, and God knows to what degree we have consistently increased in our resistance to antibiotics. Okay. So, but then again, the data appears to kind of shift between who's reporting. But one thing is common across all the platforms that I've checked. It's that they're all telling a lie, or at this point, this has become a scientific stated fact that as a people in the world or on the planet, whatever chemical injections are finding their way into agriculture, into environment, into the human bodies, somehow in incremental measures, we are becoming resistant to antibiotics. So last night, I was going through the news, and this new report, I first saw it on Premium Times. According to Premium Times, they report a recent study by Gavi found that newborn babies in Nigeria are antibiotic resistant or are born with antibiotic resistant bacteria. This is specifically cholesterol resistant bacteria in their systems. So I don't panic because I've seen this like how many years back. But the issue here is, maybe the concern for me is that babies are being born with antibiotic resistant bacteria. And I think you pretty much understand what this means. I hope you, well, it's not so difficult to comprehend. If you're antibiotic resistant, it means that many of the small ailments can pretty much put you on a bed or maybe even kill you. Because usually you would go to antibiotics to deal with the bacteria that you think is making you ill or weak. Now, if your body would not respond to antibiotics, you have become antibiotic resistant. I was reading the scientific literature a few years ago, and they reported that weed has become antibiotic resistant. Animals were also becoming antibiotic resistant, and what that meant was they had to up the strength of the antibiotic. Now, what happens, and this is just a simple way or simplified way to kind of just color your imagination in the event that you're trying to understand what I'm saying, is that if, say, for example, you were on, pardon the vague and somewhat sketchy explanation, if, say, for example, you were on 2% strength antibiotic, what happens is that the bacteria or the germs, some may die, others will adapt. When they adapt, that 2% strength antibiotic can no longer kill them. So you would have to up the dose or up the strength to, like, say, a 4%. That 4%, some bacteria would die, others will adapt. When you adapt, the 4% strength is no longer doing the work, so you have to up to 6%. And that way, consistently and incrementally, we've gone from, God knows, once upon a time, Indoseed used to kill the rat. I don't know if you have tried it recently. Does the Indoseed kill the rats anymore? Because I remember a few years ago, someone made a joke, and I don't know how serious that was. And he said, oh, the Indoseed doesn't kill the rats anymore. Growing up as a child, my parents used to talk about using Indoseed to kill rats. Like, you just put Indoseed on bread, it eats it, it dies. But these days, the rats look like cats. And it's like, God knows what they're eating that's making them explode in size. Okay, so I went to the Gavi website, and I want to share with you what they report. And I'm going to attempt to summarize it, but I really also do not want you to miss the crux of the matter. Sepsis occurs when one's immune system has an extreme response to an infection. It's a life-threatening condition, they say, and they report that globally it accounts for 11 million deaths, 20% of all deaths per year. And it doesn't just affect adults. In 2020, 2.4 million newborn babies died of sepsis in the first month of their lives. Most of these deaths happened in sub-Saharan Africa. So they're talking to us around here. The main treatment for sepsis is antibiotics. However, the overuse and misuse of antibiotics in human medicine and agriculture has led to antimicrobial resistance, a process in which bacteria, fungi, and parasites have developed the ability to resist the action of medicines. All right. They forecast that by 2050, more people will die from antimicrobial resistance than both cancer and diabetes combined. Listeners, we have a problem. And maybe this is by way of additional information. Sub-Saharan Africa is one of the regions with the highest rates of deaths associated with antimicrobial resistance, including sepsis in the world, 23.5 deaths per 100,000 people. And in their latest study, they found that samples taken from mothers and newborn babies younger than 1 week in Nigeria already had colistin-resistant bacteria present in their bodies, but neither the babies nor their moms had been treated with colistin. So they had not used the colistin colistin antibiotic. And their report, they sampled babies younger than a week in Nigeria, and they say in Nigeria already, these children had colistin-resistant bacteria present in their bodies, but the moms nor the babies had been treated with this bacteria. Then the question is, how did the mothers get it? Because you can understand that the babies would get it through their moms, but how did the moms get it if, for example, according to this report, the mothers had not been treated with this antibiotic? We have so much to talk about. So now let's talk about Nigerians and our habits. There is a possibility, and this is assuming that all things being equal and including this report being solid, that gradually we're beginning to hear cases or reports of children are being born with antibiotic resistant bacteria. God alone knows what's found in the moms, because if it's in the child, it's certainly in the mom. And if the reports in the last few years is anything to go by, what do you say about this issue? This reports that now there are Nigerian babies born with this antibiotic resistant bacteria. What it means and what you think the alternatives are. Nigerians love over-the-counter medication. I think you may want to touch on that and tell us why you think that must change, or maybe that's not the problem. And if you are aware of any other alternatives, let's talk on Nigeria Info. Welcome, you on the sunny side. My name's Joyce.
Quality talk.
Intelligent conversations.
Always interesting.
So engaging.
Sometimes even mind-boggling.
Nigeria Info. Ask everyone. Anyone.
There's a message here. Joyce, the rat in my shop just ate 10 capsules of Indoseed yesterday. I'm shocked. It better be that the Indoseed is fake. This is Gabriel from Ikoyi. To be honest with you, I can't quite say if it's fake or not. You have to tell me whether the rat's dead or alive, because you hold some level of proof to a large extent. So, 0201-2770-993, 0201-465-7190, and our WhatsApp number is 08095975805. What are the Nigerian habits that you think can inform this? I don't know whether you feel what I am feeling. Is this not a problem? Are you not terrified by this? Do you suppose that this is not too much of an issue? But then let's even talk about the habits of Nigerians. Over-the-counter self-medicating. And in your view, what you think the side effects may be. Let's talk. Oh, just before we kick off talking, well, there's some information I'd love to quickly share with you. And then we get into the conversation on the sunny side. We begin.
Yes, information that you can use. It's all about the Peter Rufai Summer Sports Camp. It is back, and it's bigger, and it's better. Well, it is better than before. Don't use that English anywhere else. Because earlier in the month, it ended on the 3rd of August. But by popular demand, it is now back once again. Because they said 2 weeks is just not enough for these children to get all they need in the way of athletic discipline and all the good stuff that sports can give you. So the platform has decided to launch back, but only this time it's going to be happening in Amuwo or Dauphin only. Now, before now, you know that this opportunity is open to children between the ages of 3 and 17. Well, it stays the same. That has not changed at all. Only this time, it will be happening from the 19th of August to the 31st of August. And of course, remember I said 3 to 17 are the years approved. And of course, you must also know that it is happening now at the school. The school before now where it was happening was the City Pride School, Amuwo Dauphin, and of course it has added another venue to it, the Darius Turf, also in Amu Odofin. So remember, Darius Turf and City Pride School, Amu Odofin, First Stack, Lagos. Do not forget that. Now, for sponsorship and inquiries, you can call the number 0810 058 0744 or 0806 498 8993. I'll take that again, 0806 498-8993. You could also write to the email address at starroofofficial@gmail.com. Starroofofficial@gmail.com. That is spelled STARUFOFFICIAL @gmail.com. Or you could send your WhatsApp messages to the number 0811 230 1652. That is 0811 230 1652. This opportunity, the Peter Rufai Summer Sports Camp, is powered by Star Roof Sports Development, supported by Cool FM, Nigeria Info, and Wazobia FM. Parents, children, if your parents are not close to you, could get this information and go and track them. It's back from the 19th to the 31st of August 2024. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it is happening. It is not by chance. You demanded it. It is back once again. Your child's well-being is definitely a guarantee. It is top of mind and front and center of everything we are doing. It is indeed the very idea of the Peter Rufai Summer Sports Camp. So I'm wondering, are you ready? Lagos, are you ready? Send your child there, rekindle their passion, and definitely just light that fire. You never know what you are doing. You probably will be raising the next Olympian in your household.
This is Worthy of Note.
This is Worthy of Note. Let's talk your Nigeria info. My name is Joyce. Welcome. Good afternoon to you. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Good afternoon,
welcome.
Sir.
Good afternoon to you.
It's Comrade Ikechukwu from Waterfall.
Good to have you.
I love the question asked that how is the pregnant mothers getting this antibiotic resistance? For me, one, during the time, early 80s, when they were pregnant, my mother used to take something like Ofoluku, Ntoroba, Oboroko, and one original one when they don't meet with the potassium and saccharin. So those things that she's eating will now fight and kill some bacteria. But what we are eating now is AI, computer, and trying to get modified seed food. Another one, many people are no longer having money to buy original medicine like early 80s, late 80s, and early 90s, down to year 2000. But these children, they are born now. Now, they're only Indomie, and their mama is not eating Indomie. Maybe that's what is causing the resistance to antibiotics in the children. Are you hearing me?
I'm listening.
So, good food, good original palm, orange, banana, those quality original ones. It can solve the problem for my own.
Okay.
So I'm waiting for Jordan Topico.
Okay. Thank you so much for calling. 99.3 Nigeria Info, you're on the sunny side, and we're talking. Hello.
Yeah, good afternoon, Joyce.
Afternoon to you.
Okay, Lapro is my name.
Thank you so much for calling.
Okay. Well, what I can say there is that, nowadays, I don't know, is it the level of hardship or level of mentality? Our women, most of people rely on self-medication. Especially women, they take much of antibiotic.
Is it just women, in your opinion?
Hello?
Is it just women, in your opinion, that just take...
No, I say most of the people.
Okay.
It's not just applicable to only women. Most of the people, rely on stuff. I mean, get to my medical doctor, and whatever image they are passing through, instead of getting medical doctor attention to prescribe medicine for them, they go on and get self-medication, go antibiotic. They take much antibiotic. And, these things have effect on their body. most of the times he reacts to, some of them affects the baby. Some are pregnant, they take it. When they deliver this baby, due to these things are much in their blood, the baby now turns to, antibiotic resistant. You see, so
what alternatives are you suggesting at this point? Like when a person has like any kind of ailment, because I think people do not have that much loose cash to go to the hospital immediately, so they tend to want to self-cater.
Exactly. Well, the alternative for now is I can suggest whatever. Self-medication is not the best.
So what other natural remedies do you think is worth considering? Or is it just go to the doctor? You think once you are ill, go to the doctor?
Seek advice of medical doctor, number one.
Okay.
Two, we can use our natural herbs like vegetables,
Okay.
bitter leaves to some extent.
Okay.
Why we are afraid of this, people are scared of this natural, like bitter leaves. You don't know the quantity, the amount, they are not, take it much, you react. You don't, the measurement, the
All right.
quantity is the problem. So that is it. Thank you.
Thank you very much for calling. Well, he suggests that you go to your doctor. I want to quickly share with you a report. When was this? I think this was reported in 2016. This was a report in 2016. Do I have enough time on the clock before a commercial break? Okay, more than half of all patients treated in hospitals will get an antibiotic at some point during their stay. The study found that 30 to 50% of antibiotics prescribed in hospitals are either unnecessary or incorrect, contributing to antibiotic resistance. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to quickly go from the break. We'll come back to this conversation of Nigerian babies being born with a bacteria that's antibiotic resistant. Don't go anywhere.
More news and information coming up. We'll be back in a moment.
It is now day 3 of Nigeria Info's I Beg to Differ Tournament of Champions from across Nigeria, and there is no slowing down. At 4 o'clock, Minanengio Furi David and Oke Orji Delight will debate the topic, is social media a leading cause of mental health issues among young people today? At 5 o'clock, Favor Victor will slug it out with Ajekigbe Mercy Eyitola on the topic, do career politicians in Nigeria hinder or enhance the country's development? Judges have already given second chances to 2 losers, but will save one more on Wednesday. Who will the lucky one be? I am Yvonne Ochaifo. Join Femi Obang Daniels and me to find out on Wednesday. Nigeria Info's I Beg to Differ Tournament of Champions. 16 debaters, now 14. 1 winner, 2 million naira. For sponsorship, send an email to info@nigeriainfo.fm. I Beg to Differ, a tournament of champions.
Imagine being able to buy items that have been on your wish list for so long without having to worry about upfront cash payments. Are you a business looking for maximum market exposure to grow your cash customer base? The first ever small fair in Nigeria is here. Happening on the 17th of August at the Peace Steve Conference Center opposite Nikon Town, Lekki, Lagos from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. At the Small Fair 2024, you can access 500k plus products and do small installment payments. Ooh. As a business owner, not only do you get to showcase your unique products and services, but you also have an excellent chance to attract new customers and increase your profits. And guess what? Attendance is free. For registration, exhibition, and sponsorship, visit www.smallfair.com or call 0916-767-2191. When your needs seem far-fetched, remember, you can do small. This fair is proudly organized by Small and sponsored by Interswitch, Fincra, Cora, Quidax, and Paga.
You are listening to your number one station for talk.
Your number one station for talk.
99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk. This is Worthy of
99.3 Nigeria Info, the sunny side. I'm going to read a message here from Daniel. It goes, this means that we are finished in this continent. Because if a child is born with antibiotic resistance, then it means that his mother has been consuming GMO foods and many bad food intake, which the baby is taken in the womb. And this GMO and wicked billionaires must be stopped, I think you meant to say, from infecting Africa. That the GMO that's a universe of a conversation in itself. But thank you very much. I think I can afford a conversation before the commercial break. Nigeria Info. Turn up the volume of your radio set. Welcome.
Hello, good afternoon, Lady J.
Welcome. You have a minute and a half. It's good to have you join the conversation.
Yeah, this is the National Man.
Welcome.
The topic, most times I develop this sense of, I don't know how to say it, but anytime I want to listen to some of your shows, I normally go, I try to fortify my spirit and my temperament to absorb the emotion that comes with the criticality of your topics. Joyce, this one is one of those ones. I think it has to do with our attitude, number one. Then number two is the high-tech companies that have to do with conspiracy of what they put up to Africa. You can remember what happened during the COVID-19. Some of us in Africa, some came up with idea of trying to develop indigenous vaccines that would have fought the coronavirus. They were played down actually because of the politics of the international influence, that ordinarily they believe that Africa could not come up with anything tentative to stand against COVID virus. Then at the end of the day, we all saw what happened based on their conspiracies of the reality of what COVID was and any other thing behind it. Then on the other note, I mentioned that number
Pardon
one
me.
is...
Sorry, I really hate to interrupt you. I have to be off on a break because it's time now for the news update. Well, I hope you would find it necessary to call me back.
I will call you back, my sister.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for calling. It's 1 p.m. on the clock, and next is the news update on Nigeria Info.
It's 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock.
The news update on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
The Senate Committee on Public Accounts is unhappy with the management of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited and other agencies. This is for their persistent refusal to respond to queries raised against them in the 2019 audit report. Chairman of the committee, Ahmed Wadada, decried the attitude of the agencies for failing to respond to queries. Senator Wadada said that going forward, any agency that refused to honor invitation to defend its queries would be reported to the Senate at plenary by the committee. Meanwhile, the House of Representatives is proposing a 25-year imprisonment or 10 million naira fine or both for anyone convicted of leading a separatist agitation. The proposal is contained in the Counter-Subversion Bill 2024 before the House. The proposed legislation, according to its explanatory memorandum, seeks to criminalize subversive activities by associations, organizations, bandits, and other proscribed groups in Nigeria. The bill, sponsored by the Speaker, Tajuddin Abbas, is awaiting the second reading, during which the general principles will be debated. Moving on, the National Judicial Council is set to decide on the successor of the outgoing Chief Justice of Nigeria, Olukayode Ariwoola, on Friday, the 16th of August. Ariwoola is billed to bow out on the 22nd of August, when he will attain the mandatory retirement age of 70. Based on that, the NJC had fixed a meeting for Friday to deliberate on who would become the next CJN. In the long tradition of the apex courts, the next most senior justice will likely step in. And data show that violent attacks against women on British railways have more than doubled since 2021. The figures from the British Transport Police Authority's 2024 annual report showed the number of crimes against women and girls rose from 7,561 in 2021 to 11,357 in 2023. The number of sexual offences jumped 10% over the same period, while sexual harassment reports doubled. And President Volodymyr Zelensky says Ukraine is continuing to push further into Russian territory. He says Ukrainian troops have moved forward in several directions in the Kursk region since the start of Wednesday. Ukraine's operation into Russian territory is now in its second week, its deepest and most significant incursion into the country since Moscow's full-scale invasion began. Russia has accused Ukraine of committing crimes and says any prospect of peace talks are now on a long pause. And that's the news update this hour. You are listening to The Sunny Side with Joyce on 99.3 Nigeria Info. I am Yvonne Ohaifo. Stick around.
Quality talk.
Intelligent conversations.
Always interesting.
So engaging.
Sometimes even mind-boggling.
Nigeria Info. Nigeria Info. Ask everyone. Anyone.
We are 99.3, my friends. This is Nigeria Info. Welcome to the show. A beautiful Wednesday afternoon to you. We hold it to be worthy of note, and noteworthy would be this latest report. Yeah, very recent. It's less than a week. And a number of things have crossed my mind. And welcome, you're listening to, you're on the sunny side with Joyce. I'm your host, and I want to figure out how much curiosity has permeated your reasoning and your judgment of your environment. First, I want to ask you, because I think you may have thought about it, or maybe you didn't quite think about it, you just reacted to it. Have you seen people born with a certain kind of health issue? And you have said something like, that's how God made him. You kind of know what I'm talking about, right? Where you see someone with maybe a deformity of a sort. Sometimes it's serious, sometimes not too serious. Sometimes it's mental, sometimes it's emotional, sometimes it's physical. And you're like, hey, that's how, God made him. Okay. Hold that thought. I want to take you to something you have heard, probably learned at school. Natural selection. Don't worry, you'll piece it together in a moment. Natural selection, a mechanism of evolution. Organisms that are more adapted to their environment are more likely to survive and pass on the gene that aided their success. This process causes species to change and diverge over time. Okay, so, we like a little conspiracy theory around here. We're live streaming on YouTube. Nigeria Info, 99.3 FM. Okay, good. While you're there, you are at liberty to disagree with what I'm about to say. But isn't that why we are gathered here today? Brethren, is it possible that, because sometimes, I don't know how your teachers taught you natural selection, but they almost suggest that it happens naturally, that nobody induces it. And I've messed with the idea of, I disagree with that. Now, not because I'm too clear as to why I'm disagreeing, but I've had a reason to disagree. I think that natural selection is induced, is man-made, it's mechanized. They tell us that it's natural. I disagree with the naturality of it. I think it's mechanized. So let's look at what we're talking about today. Now there's a baby born with antibiotic resistance. So let's spread our imagination a little bit. What else can come as a result of this resistance to being born with a said bacteria that would not bow to antibiotics? And I guess this would affect body, mind, body, soul, spirit in some way to some extent. And maybe those in the future would read about it and conclude, evolution. Because this new species coming into the world are going to have to adapt or readjust, and those who don't make it die off, and those who make it are becoming the new humans or new type of humans. That's a vague way to put it, but imagine everything that you've been told is a function of natural selection. I think what I'm trying to put in your gaze is the fact that it didn't happen naturally. It was induced. Okay. Now you chew on that, and if you're wondering what the conversation is, let me take you to an introduction, a publication in 2016. It was said that overprescribing of antibiotics by physicians in hospitals and their extensive use of antibiotics in food livestock have been blamed for contributing to the crisis. A crisis that the world testifies to at this moment. Earlier on, I told you that 30 to 50% of antibiotics prescribed in hospitals are either unnecessary or incorrect, contributing to antibiotic resistance. This is a publication from 2016. And today, 2024, Gavi, yes, they are also into vaccines, if you're wondering, but you can look them up, and they gave us vaccines. Good guys. And so they have this publication where Nigerian children, some Nigerian children, at least those who are sampled, are born with a said antibiotic resistance. Let's talk. 0201 2770993 0201 465 7190. The latter number is for the ladies, and the WhatsApp number is 0809 597 5805. If you have an alternative, a natural idea of what antibiotics are, I think it's also necessary that you share that so that the listeners know where to go to first if they're going to be self-medicating. Because besides the fact that there's a study saying that the hospitals have contributed to antibiotic resistance, there's also the fact that humans, for example, Nigerians, may have also contributed to their own antibiotic resistance. And maybe not much testing has been done in that regard. Imagine it's not a Nigerian research that's reporting this one we're discussing about. It's Gavi. Let's talk, my friends. Welcome to the show, Nigeria Info. Can you hear us? Tell us your name. The sunny side, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Lady J.
I do apologize. I'm sorry, I may have lost you again, so you have to call back. The sunny side. Sorry, I lost you. I'm not even sure what's happening with my telephone lines this very moment. Sorry, I lost you. What's happening with my connection? Well, try again. The sunny side. Turn up the volume of your radio set. Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. I can hear you.
Yeah, this is the merchant man calling back.
Good. Good to have you.
I made mention of conspiracy among world high-tech and pharmaceutical industries and some of our attitudes as a people. You know, when they mention self-medication, it might be taken so lightly and so casually, taken for granted. But my experience to the hospital last time taught me another lesson. When I went to the hospital and I was being examined by the doctor, when he asked me three of questions and I told him, I suggested a kind of measure. I was trying to contribute to the measure of the treatment. At a point, he said, no, you should not go that route because of your previous health record. And at the end of the day, what I was actually thinking that would have been a very massive and high-powered level of medication, the doctor came up with paracetamol. So I was like, sir, why are you giving me paracetamol? I was thinking based on the complaints I gave to you, you would have come up with some more powerful drugs. He said, now you are looking at the angle of antibiotics. But the truth is you cannot take it because of what you just mentioned, Joyce. The attitude of our people always trying to go for, if ordinarily I didn't go to a hospital, I would, based on what I was having or the way I was feeling, I would have gone for the antibiotic. But the doctor stood against it firmly that at a point it will put up my body system will put up a resistance against it that within a period of time, my system can no longer respond to anything antibiotic. Then, from my understanding, I also have to narrow this discussion on the evolution and the mutation of bacteria from AIs and GMO food that people eat. So, if our experience during the COVID is anything to go by, it is high time as a people we would have started looking inwardly, looking at indigenous methods to salvage this issue. Because there is this, like I said before, the advert for news, there is this conspiracy by the high-tech pharmaceutical industries across the world in order to make sure their ways are carried out or their intentions are carried out on Africans.
Yeah.
You can remember what happened with the Gates and the vaccines and the other one, the hair. So what we have to do as a people to save ourselves from this looming catastrophe is to look inwardly as a people to go natural. Because during those days of coronavirus, when people were bringing some specimen from both goats and other animals, even from pawpaw, at the end of the day, they all tested positive to contradict what was given to us as the reality on ground. So it is left for us as a people to go into research in order to make sure we have our own way to be safe on our land in terms of traditional or medical practices.
Okay. Any ideas as to natural antibiotics real quick? Can you leave us with something?
Unfortunately, I don't have anyone on my head.
Okay,
But the
fantastic.
truth is,
Okay.
there are people who have it that can always recommend for the people.
Well, let's hear them. Thank you so much for calling. I really do appreciate you calling in. You're on the sunny side, and my name is Joyce. We're talking about a health problem here, a global health crisis. Hello. Welcome. How are you?
Good afternoon, Lady G.
Thank you very much for calling. It's good to have you on the sunny side.
Calling from Ikorodu.
Miss Oboli, thank you. Go ahead.
So what you're just discovering, most doctors know this.
Okay.
There has been a misdiagnosis of prognosis and even the drugs they give. See, there's this general notion that if you have malaria, you also have typhoid. And then typhoid will always come along with antibiotics. People have been wired in such a way that right from growing up, they have this at the back of their head. So even when you go to the hospital, the doctor is giving you only anti-malarial, the ACT, you're also asking, doctor, what about the typhoid drugs? See, some that say, go to the hospital. Let me shock you. The harm that even the hospitals do, I didn't say all now. It's even much more than you that you are buying the drugs over the counter. It's more than what you're doing, depending on the hospital you attend or you go to. Food is also part of it. See, the level we are going to now, food will eventually be the therapy at the end of the day. And when I say food, I mean good food, a wholesome diet.
Okay, so do you have any ideas for what natural antibiotics are, and would you want to share some with the public? Because I guess maybe what Nigerians even need to do is to incorporate in manageable doses these natural antibiotics, in the diet. Do you have any ideas?
So first off, I don't buy the idea of people saying they are buying supplements. You are also cumbering the issue.
Okay.
So it's possible for you, get wholesome vegetables. Not even that alone. See, Lady J, please, as much as it lies within us as the people, let's stop going on self-medication. I know when you get to the hospital, you are asked to pay for card, pay for this, pay for that. These days, you know what I do with my children at home? I prefer to let their immunity, even my husband, fight these sicknesses by boosting up what they are eating. I go the food route these days.
Okay.
Enough of this drug, because it's even killing the kidney, killing the system. Drugs are no longer effective. So what we tell our patients is this: when you treat malaria after 2 weeks, and it doesn't go under a month, you can retreat, killing them again in the process, because they want sharp answers.
All right. Thank
Even
you.
in the hospital, they tell them the same thing. If you have done tablets and it's not going, we say, oh yeah, go ahead and do injectables, go ahead and do drips.
All right.
Everything boils to the same thing. The prognosis from the doctor added to the diagnosis is also killing everybody. So when you say this is ready, it has happened since people did not even take note. Whatever findings you are bringing out, GMO is also an additive as well. It has happened since nobody is finding out. And we're even doing more harm. When you tell the doctors you want to teach them their job, and then they will say, okay, fine, since you feel you know better than me, go ahead and do this.
Thank you.
And every day people are coming, churning out new drugs, under the bridge drugs. You know what I mean by under the bridge drugs?
No.
They just get NAFDAC. It's not NAFDAC approved.
Oh, okay.
Adding to the problem.
Oh.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Everybody's making money at the detriment and at the expense of the next person's life. We have to just be careful. I would do food, and that's the best therapy for me.
Thank you very much for calling 99.3 Nigeria Info. You're on the sunny side, and my name is Joyce. We're looking at a new report that children are born with a bacteria that's resistant to antibiotics. Now, think about all the antibiotics you've had to go buy yourself. Think about your attempt to fix your health. Well, there's news about that. Hello.
Yeah, Joyce, good afternoon.
Afternoon. Thank you very much for calling Nigeria Info.
Yeah, my name is Dr. Jude, calling from Amuwadofin.
Okay. Thank you so much, Doc, for calling.
Yeah. Okay, I had wanted to be an MD, that's medical doctor.
Okay.
But I ended up being a doctor of veterinary medicine. Now, something happened while I was growing up that made me, want to be, a medical doctor.
Mm-hmm.
And my dad died of diabetes.
Okay.
And I wanted to, I just wanted to deal with that. And well, I ended up being a doctor of veterinary medicine. I'm enjoying what I'm doing right now, but I didn't stop what I wanted to do. So I started doing research, carrying out research on this, and I realized there's a plant called insulin plant. Fantastic plant. As I speak to you, I have used it on at least 6 people in this country. Now, it is not NAFDAC approved, of course, testing.
Mm-hmm.
But I now know it like normal business. And currently, I'm already in the process of taking it to NAFDAC. And it's
you can't patent nature. Hold on. Look, first of all, thank you so much for calling. Second, you can't patent nature. What do you mean you're going to take it to NAFDAC?
Well, what I'm trying to do right now is I'm currently making, of course, we dehydrate it.
Okay.
And then we make tea out of it. Because, you could see leaves and then you like the leaf.
Mm-hmm.
But again, how best do you take it? Do you want to start chewing leaves like goats? No.
Okay.
So,
you encapsulate it.
Yeah, I'm not encapsulating it. What I'm doing is that I dehydrate and make tea bags out of, put it in tea bags.
Ah, so people just drink it with tea.
So that is why NAFDAC has to come in if I want to make it a business.
Yeah, I get it. Okay, I get it.
Yeah.
Yo, dude, man, you struck gold. Tell me, this insulin plant, what does it achieve for your patients?
It drops the sugar level drastically. In fact, if you take it too much, it will go to low sugar.
Okay. So like a tea bag or 2 tea bags can pretty much fix you for one day. That's a day's dose.
Yes. So, you take it for at least a week and then check yourself.
Mm-hmm.
If you keep taking it, it will actually it will go the other way.
Like that's insane, right? So So what has this done to you mentally as a young man who says you watch your father die of diabetes, and here you are gambling around looking for a solution to that problem that killed your father so it doesn't kill you? You stumble on insulin plant. So as a conventionally trained doctor.
Yeah, you know what? I went to my children's school, and I think I just bumped onto that plant there, and I was like, yo, what you guys are using as a
decoration.
As decoration is actually insulin plant. The whole school, everyone came and surrounded me, and they're like, how do I mean? I explained the whole thing to them. Right now, a lot of people there, they have taken that plant to go and plant in their houses.
Guys, send me one. Let me plant by my window.
I have it in my house here at the back of my house. I just planted a lot of it. I'm using it to save lives.
Send me little attempts to save my life. Thank you so much for calling. I really appreciate this information. And yes, you have saved lives by calling the radio. I really do appreciate you calling in. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Oh, Lagos, Nigeria. Look. So I just Googled it. It's said to be an anti-diabetic. It has anti-diabetic properties. And all you just have to do is take 2 bags a day. Rather than give your money to some guy in a lab coat called a doctor. Well, that was a doctor calling the show. The sunny side, my name is Joyce, and we're talking about what may... And isn't it... So in a sense, it's beyond funny. It's almost tragic that because of our collective ignorance, the things that can heal us are around us. But because we don't know them, then we die. Welcome to the show. We're talking. The sunny side, my name is Joyce. It's so good to have you join the conversation.
Good afternoon, Joyce. My name is Kachi, calling from Festac.
Good to have you, Kachi. Thank you so much.
This is my first time calling you.
First time caller.
Very, very interesting one.
Welcome. Thank you.
You see, this issue of the topic you bring in, children being given birth to with resistant bodies.
Bacteria, yeah.
Bacteria. You see, I think what a man eats makes a man too. Not just how a man thinks. What a man eats makes him too. So the process of eating things that are not natural could cause that. Now, for last year, I stopped taking anti-malaria tablets. What I do now is there are some herbs in my backyard. They call one stone crusher and another one I've forgotten the name.
Hold on a second. You see that stone crusher?
Yeah.
I think I discovered that thing last week. You will not believe it. In fact, I thought it was weed. I honestly thought it was weed.
I called it a weed too until my eyes were opened by an elderly woman who lives opposite me. She's the one who introduced it to me.
Go ahead.
I take a shot of it every morning on empty stomach. Since last year, so now I've not fallen sick.
Really?
And when I discovered that my daughter is always having sepsis,
yeah,
I stuck to a particular kind of water. I strained her with the dispenser bottle along the line with into plastic bottle. So we went back to Seaway, and what we do every morning is we have a bowl of onions, two cloves of garlic, crushed, and we pour honey into the bottle where we put the onions and clove of garlic. The honey extracts the juice from both the garlic and the onions.
Yeah.
It's an antibiotic, a strong natural antibiotic. We give it to her once every morning as she goes to school. She has never fallen sick.
So that's you like,
7th month.
And it's water. So you just restructure the water that she's drinking.
Yes, exactly. And we give her extract of onion water, onion juice, and garlic juice. We put in a bottle.
That's how you treated your daughter's sepsis?
No. After the hospital turn, and I discovered it.
Okay.
Whenever she goes to school, she comes back with illnesses. But since we discovered the juice from onions and garlic, her system has improved drastically.
Look, I wish I could keep you a little longer, but I'm off on a break. I want to thank you very much for sharing this, and thank you very much for calling. Really, I appreciate it.
It's okay. Thank you. I appreciate it.
The sunny side. Now, you're picking up more than I'm putting down, and that's good. We'll be right back.
Items that have been on your wish list for so long without having to worry about upfront cash payments. Are you a business looking for maximum market exposure to grow your cash customer base? The first ever small fair in Nigeria is here. Happening on the 17th of August at the Peace Conference Center opposite Nikon Town, Lekki, Lagos. From 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. At the Small Fair 2024, you can access 500k plus products and do small installment payments. Ooh. As a business owner, not only do you get to showcase your unique products and services, but you also have an excellent chance to attract new customers and increase your profits. And guess what? Attendance is free. For registration, exhibition, and sponsorship, visit www.smallfair.com or call 0916-767-2191. When your needs seem far-fetched, remember, you can do small. This fair is proudly organized by Small and sponsored by InterSwitch, Binkra, Quora, Quidax, and Paga.
99.3 Nigeria Info, your number one station for talk. Let's talk.
.3 Nigeria Info, the sunny side. We're holder to be worthy of note. My name is Joyce, and I want to quickly share something with you that was reported around the COVID era. The coronavirus pandemic is thought to have accelerated the threat of global antimicrobial resistance in many patients admitted to hospitals with COVID-19 because those COVID-19 patients received antibiotics to keep secondary bacteria infections such as pneumonia in check. So while they're treating you for COVID, they were also stuffing you with antibiotics. Now let's go to the WHO, and this was reported this year. In fact, it was reported 26th April 2024. They report antibiotics used did not improve clinical outcomes for patients with COVID-19. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Do I have to recap? I don't, right? No, let me, for the sake of those at the back of the class. Coronavirus was thought to have accelerated the threat of the global antimicrobial resistance as many patients admitted to the hospitals with COVID-19 received antibiotics, and this was in order to prevent other disease or infections. They said it was to keep secondary bacteria infections at bay. This was reported. Hold on, let me even just give you a timestamp. Hold on. Give me a moment. This was reported in 2020. All right? 4 years later. 4 years later, according to the WHO, the WHO report on the overuse of antibiotics. Antibiotics, according to the WHO, did not improve clinical outcomes for patients with COVID-19. You are on the sunny side, and we hold it to be worthy of note. My name is Joyce, and welcome if you have just tuned in. We're live streaming on YouTube, Nigeria Info, 99.3 FM. The conversation continues.
This is Worthy of Note.
Indeed, worthy of note, 0201-2770-993, 0201-465-7190, and our WhatsApp number 08095975805. Then let me go to WhatsApp. Remember, this last caller, this gentleman who spoke about his daughter having sepsis and finding a way to manage it permanently, well, Gavi also reported on sepsis. And they said over how many million die in sub-Saharan Africa. And one of the treatments, probably the most important treatment for sepsis, is antibiotics. So there are millions of people in sub-Saharan Africa that have died, particularly children at birth, due to the dependency on modern medicine to cure sepsis. And so this is a caller who says, well, this is what I tried. Garlic, onion, honey. In water, you give it to your child every morning before she goes to school, maybe twice a day, who knows? And that's how they're able to manage it? Okay. Hello and welcome. I'm on WhatsApp right now. I have my eyes on you. My name is Akin from Ikeja. Please, can you elaborate more on the stone crusher plant and how do I get it? God bless you, friend. I said I just discovered that thing like 2 weeks ago. In fact, I've had it since last year. But I thought it was weed. In fact, I was going to come on radio and share with you a theory of how you should be careful the things you bring into your house, because when that thing becomes a weed in your life, it doesn't die. That stone crusher is a die hard. Every time I uproot it, because I thought it was weed, it just grows back. Uproot, it grows back. Uproot, and I thought, what kind of stubborn weed is this? And then, what was I? I was doing one of those, my regular reading random things in the wind. And I stumbled on this thing. It even had a different name. The name I saw was not even the stone crusher. It was another name. And so I was reading about that name. And then they said, well, this is also called a stone crusher. And I just went to images to look at the picture. And I was in awe. I was in disbelief. Because for over a year, I thought it was weed. Ignorance. Dang it. So for over a year, what could have saved me, saved a neighbor, saved you if I had told you about it, if I knew any differently? I had cold weed. So I don't know how to describe it, but just just do stone crusher plant or leaf, then go to Google Images, you see what it looks like. You may even be walking past it. But I got it from the premises of one of my neighbors here. And honestly, I wanted it for decorative purposes, and when I was done, I wanted it gone. And it wouldn't go away. Maybe it loves me. That's why it wouldn't go away. But just look at images. It gives you a picture. Because I don't know where you can find it, but for sure it's in Nigeria. Just look at the picture so that when you walk around the streets or you're on a farm, when you see it, you can identify it. And God help us. Nigeria Info, the sunny side. Can you hear us?
Thank you very much.
Good.
Yes, I'm so happy you are still around.
Where? You know, I'm like on holiday in Paris?
What?
You thought I was going on holiday in Paris?
You know, when we started this, I pleaded with you. Please don't go anywhere.
I'll still go. No, don't beg me.
No, my sister, Biko. Don't jump our beg. Thank you for all you've been doing for us. Joyce, all this thing boiled down to money. I had 3 kids. When my wife was pregnant with my first child, you go to all these their clinic or hospital where they give antenatal or treatment they always go for. She brings some of these drugs, I said, Daddy, I'm not taking this. I'm not taking this. You know what we do? You know this Otaze. Hello, Joyce.
I'm with you.
We do Otaze. Do this. Is it what do you call this thing? Oziza. Prepare all this thing with correct dried fish, pepper soup, pound yam. Then she eat this thing they prepare with corn. I think these Togo people eat more of that thing. They even wrap it with the corn leaf. What is it called? Kente or kenke or something.
Okay.
So she eats all these things. But not all these our modern girls these days. You see them in eateries. Going to eateries with pregnant big belly. Go and collect all those junks. At the end of the day, it becomes problem. My wife will put to bed 7 in the morning. 10, 11, 12, she's back home. Put her in the market. See the trick here.
Okay.
Most of those drugs, she doesn't take it. But I don't know whether it's laziness or what do they call it?
No, we're fancy.
Or modern whatever.
It's modernization. We're fancy.
They don't
now.
cook. They go to eateries and buy all these things.
I mean, they cook, but we're fancy.
Like the COVID something you said, thank God I did not. Throughout that period, even they suspend us from work for 6 months, I will not take. They'll force us to go for tests and we'll come out, is it positive, right? I say, thank God, I don't enter plane. Now when they travel, go that side.
All right.
So please.
Thank you.
Our women, once you read that
It's
stage,
not a women thing. It's not a women thing at this point. It's like because it's in the food and the air.
No, you're talking about the babies born these days.
Yeah, but again, I also shared the report with you. Let me go back to the report. This is what the report says, that the women and children who were tested for this said bacteria that's antibiotic resistant had not been treated with the antibiotics. Can you pick up what I'm putting down? So imagine that you haven't had cocaine, but they test you for cocaine and find cocaine in you.
Well,
you don't have a response to that.
Yeah. For me, at least for me, the women, they go through the baby making.
It's not a women thing. That's what I'm saying. It's not a woman thing. It's the women. They're saying that not the babies nor the mothers have been treated with colistin. The colistin is the antibiotic. They found it in newborn babies, but the mothers had not been treated with colistin. The babies had not been treated with colistin, but they tested the babies and found the colistin.
Well, back home, I think we should do more.
Thank you very much for calling.
Stop in Nigerian stable.
I appreciate
number one in all these things that is happening. They should do more. Thank you, Joyce.
That don't mean anything. When you say do more, you see it. So it seems as though you have to educate yourself. You have to know, because not knowing can equal death. There was a caller who called and says his father died of diabetes, and he wanted to fix the problem and found the plant, insulin plant. And God bless that brother. Wait, he's even a doctor. So he's not blinded by conventional medicine as to suspend his reason. So now he knows that rather than give people other conventional types of medicine, there's a tea you can drink and you're good. Look, the best way to figure out the plant, insulin plant, just Google it. It just pops in your face. Yeah, worthy of note. The sunny side, welcome to the show. How are you?
Good morning, Joyce.
Thank you so much for calling. Good afternoon to you. Welcome.
Afternoon. This is Malik speaking.
Thank you. Turn up the volume of your radio set.
Sorry, please.
Great.
Yeah, Joyce, you see, yesterday that you were with is it yesterday the doctor came in, right?
Monday.
I can't remember again.
Monday,
right?
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to call in to tell you something that will shock you. A worker came to do something in my house, and he said he wanted to drink Gary. I gave him 20 naira to go and buy granuts. He now bought sugar along the line. I said, you've not but I have sugar. I said, no vex, I forget. Joyce, do you know that sugar was in my backyard for 4 days? No ant came to touch it. No ant came to touch that sugar. What does that tell you? That is bad. Anything sugary should be attracting ants, apart from the natural sugar.
Yeah.
Anything industrial sugar. A single ant, none came there. Imagine how many people, I have the picture of that sugar. Imagine how many people is putting that in their stomach. Then for this you're talking about, my daughter was having cough. She took 6 different brands of cough syrup. It never worked. Guess what worked? Pineapple, orange, ginger, and what's the other one called? Is it turmeric they call them? I saw the video on the internet, and I prepared it. I gave it to her. That was how that cough left. Joyce. We have too many fake medicine in the market. Yes, we know that when you take drugs too much, it might not work for you. But the fake in the Nigerian market is too much, Joyce. Somebody will go and learn chemist and start prescribing drugs for you. So people will be selling drugs that cannot read and write. When you say you want belly, headache, waist pain, they will not give you drugs like that. And the government is seeing all of that, Joyce. Well, it's a pity we are going back to our grassroots to take our local apps for it to work. But too many of them too are bad. Good afternoon.
Thank you very much for calling. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Many of you have faith in your doctors because you believe that at least to a sensible degree they're educated and the ones with authority. And I do not debate that. But there is a report that's been carried out. And it's as old as, 5, 6, 7 years now, that even the hospitals may have directly contributed to antibiotic resistance that is now a global phenomenon. It's just that unfortunately today I'm choosing to drive the focus or bring the focus home because there is now a report that babies who can barely identify their mom and dads already have a bacteria that is resistant to antibiotics. You're on the sunny side and my name is Joyce. We are talking around here. Welcome to the show, Nigeria Info.
Hello, good afternoon.
Afternoon to you. Thank you very much for calling.
Yeah, this is Florence.
Speak closer to your mouthpiece, please, so we can hear you properly.
This is Florence.
Okay, Florence, thank you so much for calling.
For me, I think another reason why we have antibiotic drug resistance is that at times when we go to the hospital and the doctor prescribes it, and some of us will, let's say the doctor says take it for 1 week or 5 days or 14 days. And some people will take it for like some days. When the symptoms subside, they feel that they are okay and they drop the remaining. And after some time, the symptoms will come back and it will become a problem to treat it again. And then I think we should go back to our roots. I have a neighbor here that anything she cooks, she must use ginger, garlic, turmeric, and this moringa leaf, stuff like that. I've never seen them go to the hospital or treat malaria, typhoid, things like that.
Okay.
So most of the food we are eating now, they are not good. Like GMO food. So part of what is causing this antibiotic resistance is the GMO food that we are eating. So if we go back to our roots and find out those things that our forefathers used then, I think it will be better for us.
I appreciate you calling in. Thank you so much. Guke from Lucky. Greetings, Joyce. Apart from self-medication, the medical practitioners too have abused antibiotics by especially injecting patients with high doses of antibiotic injections, which have damaged some cells in the body. In 1993, I was a victim of high doses of antibiotics, which affected me. I lost my balance and developed a tetanus. And in turn, it damaged my eardrum in my right ear. This was as a result of the doctor trying to treat typhoid. Let me say that herbal antibiotics are the best. Do you know that 5 pieces of the female bitter cola soaked in a bottle of soft drink can cure all manner of sexual infections? And ginger and garlic cloves are natural antibiotics. Thank you so much for calling. Which is female bitter cola? Is that like a male and a female? I don't know. I just know bitter cola, the one with the brown skin you have to peel off. Is this a female one? Okay. Well, thank you. I guess I'll ask around. Let thy food be thy medicine. I think these were the words of Hippocrates. You say the progenitor of modern medicine. The question is... No, he's not the progenitor of modern medicine. Oh, no, you need to look at the books. You need to look at the modern medicine is a whole new world, and the progenitors, they don't even market those names, but you can find it on the web. No, I'm going to disagree with that one because I know different. Okay, but you say the question is, are we eating food we call medicine nowadays? I doubt even the Oyibos we envy so much are eating garbage in the name of food, let alone black Africans like me and you. Thank you for educating us on things like this. I do appreciate Ebilade, this is your message. Let me quickly go to garlic is a natural antibiotic, antimicrobial, antifungi. Thank you so much. Let me go to the telephone lines. Hello, good afternoon to you, the sunny side. Welcome. Oh, plenty. Afternoon. Thank you so much for calling.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Tell us your name. Go ahead.
Okay, my name is Kola.
Kola? What's your name, please?
Yeah, my name is Kola.
Kola, got it. Thank you very much, Kola, for calling.
Please, I just want to ask a question, please. There is a man that called earlier that said there is this plant in his child's school. Please, I don't know if you can tell me the name of the plant again.
Insulin plant. Insulin plant.
Insulin plant.
Yeah, that's what he called it. And that's what I find on the web. Insulin plant.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Sure. We're doing the Lord's work around here. We'll hold it to be worthy of note. Good afternoon to you.
Wow, finally.
I'm glad you're here.
I greet you, Joyce.
Good afternoon,
you
thank
radio
you.
Goddess.
Welcome.
I greet you. Yes, Joyce,
Mhm.
I must commend you for this beautiful piece and topic. Well, as that people have already said my mind so many things.
What's your name, by the way?
Okay, sorry. My name is Dan P. from Igondo.
Good. Okay.
Yes, actually, you know, we Africa, we tend to run away from anything native, leaves. They see you as herbalist. They see you as an outcast, as a village person. But when you know the meaning of leaves and their roots, then you know that it should be part of our life. Like that last caller said, that he used pineapple, use these plant things for cough medicine. That one is even too much. When you want to treat cough, you just get original honey. Then you get lime and ginger. That is all. You squeeze the lime there. Cut the ginger. Put the honey. When you soak it, just for some hours, it will melt down because the lime will make the honey, we shrink that honey. It will make it watery within 30 minutes. That's
Okay.
a powerful cough syrup.
Okay.
For high blood pressure, I use that one to cash out money. Free. I'm telling you. There used to be a lady I know.
Turn off your radio real quick. Pardon me. Please turn off the volume of your radio, sir. Then tell us this your money scheme. When you say cash out, what do you mean?
Yes, I can give it for free.
Yeah, what is it?
Yeah, I'm talking about
Okay.
The one for high blood pressure.
Go ahead.
I can give it for free. You know, many people will tell you that don't go to herbalist, don't go to natural, don't use leaves. Leaves work.
Yeah.
But if you know how to abide by the rules, like the one for the high blood pressure, I hate to hear somebody died in high blood pressure. It hurts me because that thing is very, very simple.
Okay.
One of the simplest things.
Tell us now. Tell us.
Yes, now. It's knowledge. I know how much I used to learn all these things.
You won't tell us again. Tell us now.
Okay. If you have high blood pressure, there are some certain things you run away from. Caffeine, anything that has caffeine.
Anything that has
Run
vaccine.
away. Caffeine. Run away from anything that has caffeine. Run away from
Caffeine.
bitter
Oh,
cola.
okay.
Run away from bitter cola.
Okay.
Run away from coffee. Run away from energy drink.
Energy drink.
If you can abide by these rules, caffeine,
caffeine.
Energy
drinks.
And bitter cola contains high caffeine.
Okay.
And carbonated energy drinks.
Yeah.
Coffee. Then you use the leaf, I will tell you now. It's going to work like magic.
Drop it.
Okay, now. You get there's a leaf. I don't know it in English, but it's common in the Yoruba places. It's very, very cheap. You can get it for 200 naira.
Yeah.
So you get a leaf. It's called...
Tell us the name of the leaf now. Nah, you've
Calm
been
down,
here 5
calm
minutes, though.
Calm down.
What?
It is called Ewe Odudu. Ewe Odudu. Ewe Odudu. EWEODUN.
EWE.
When you
say?
get that leaf,
Yeah.
then you wash it. You don't squeeze it, just rinse it.
Yeah.
You cut two out of that leaf.
Yeah.
When you get it, you cut some onions,
Uh-huh.
put it inside, then chew it. When you chew it, go and check your BP. You see that it will just go down drastically. You do it for 4 times a week.
Yeah.
If the person has severe high BP, do
Yeah.
it for 1 week. So anytime you are using it, you use it for only twice a week.
Okay.
Because it is going to bring your BP down totally. I'm telling you.
Ewe Odudu.
And
Is
again,
it? Pardon me, please.
Ewe Odudu.
Is it Odudu? Is ODUDU?
ODUNN.
Oh, okay.
Uh-huh. So you do it like that. When the person checks it, the person will thank God for nature. And while doing that thing, you take all this bag tea. I don't want to mention any brand.
Yeah.
Take bag tea. Run away from all these chocolate teas.
That's a miracle
Anybody
plant. The
that
Ewe
has,
Odudu is a
anybody that
miracle.
has high blood pressure.
Pardon me, the Ewe
Bro.
Odudu is called miracle plant, isn't it?
I don't know. It's not. I don't know. The
Okay,
name.
okay,
I can't
okay.
say what I don't know.
Sure, it's okay. Thank you. Sure, go ahead. Uh-huh.
Okay. So when you get that leaf, chew it with that onions. Cut little onions. Chew it with it. Just chew. Do it once a day because it is very, very powerful.
Okay.
And again, whenever the person wants to take tea, run away from all these chocolate things. It has caffeine. Take only all this bag tea. Then you chew onions.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Okay.
When you do it, you thank God for life.
God.
That's one. Number 2.
Okay.
There are some people that have fibroid.
Fibroid. We need to talk
There are
about
some people that
fibroid.
have fibroid.
Yeah.
There are some people that are women. I used to tell them, treat your infection before you get pregnant. Treat your infection before you get pregnant. If not, that child, when he's born, is going to be infected. That is where you get all these anti-resistance biotics from all these children.
No, that's a different. Resistance and germs are different, though.
Okay, now, there is a lady I know. That lady has been in U.S. She has this vaginal odor. And she has been using different things. She has itchy, so many things. Guess what? I didn't give her what to drink. Only what to use to insert.
Yeah.
And when she inserted it, that thing came out.
Okay.
You understand?
Uh-huh.
Those things are knowledge. If it's the one for manpower, if it's one
No,
for
tell us the one about fibroid. Manpower, go to the gym, eat good
we know.
food.
I'm
What's
just
the
giving
one
an
for
example.
fibroid? No, give me the one for fibroid. What's the one for fibroid? Because someone sent me a message about that. Save a life. Do God's work. Let God bless you. Everything is not about money.
Let me drop only one. I will drop 2. Maybe you read it out.
Okay.
Let me just drop one now. When you want to treat anything that has fibroid, number 1, run away from all these eatery foods.
Uh-huh.
Run away from all this fast food.
Mm-hmm.
That's number 1. Number 2, run away from cold water
Okay.
and sugary things
Uh-huh.
before you use this thing.
Okay.
Before you make use of this, you get scent leaf.
Uh-huh.
When you get scent leaf, you boil it.
Mm-hmm.
When you boil it little, then you take it. That one will help you to detoxify your body naturally first, so that what you want to use will work.
Okay.
So number 2, there's what they call alum dudu. I'm a Igbo man, but I know all these things.
Okay.
Knowledge. Alum dudu.
Okay.
That alum is a native alum. It's like blue.
Okay.
It's blue. The color is blue. When you get alum dudu, there's a leaf they called Ewe Alupaida.
Dude.
Ewe. I will send this as a text to you.
Please.
You read it out to people.
Okay.
When you get it, then you get the other one. What they call it, alligator pepper.
Mm-hmm.
You grind it. You just grind it very soft. Then use water to touch it. Then it will mold like kuli.
Mm-hmm.
Then the person will insert it. And when the woman wants to insert it, you will use it like 6 days before your menstruation. So that when your mess is coming out, you will thank God for nature.
Well, insert in the vagina or drink it? Like,
Insert
it. Oh.
You will see what you will thank God for life when the person uses
What if they drink it? Like, good Lord, insertion.
I have the one for drinking. I will also post it.
Thank you.
But I'm only telling you now what they will do and what is going to come out.
Okay.
You will thank God for life.
Look, so please,
many
I would
things
wait
like
for
that, even
you.
diabetes,
Yeah.
So many of these things.
I would wait for you to send me.
I travel to Ghana.
Yeah.
I travel to all these northern places. I like to ask, what do you use this for?
Yeah.
I travel to Burkina Faso. What do you use this for? How can you treat this? How can you? So that's how I got to learn this.
Thank you. Like,
do you
so
understand?
nice meeting
I will post you the one for the fibroid.
Please,
and,
the
maybe
whole
other
thing.
One.
Okay.
And you read it out for people to use.
Sure. Look,
Thank you
we're
so much.
going to
I
pray
never
for
visit
you.
hospital because we stick to leaves. So
Nice.
that's it.
I appreciate it. I'm waiting for your message. Thank you. So, what's
I
your
will
name
write
again?
it and you read it out to people.
I will read it.
Thank
What's
you.
your name again?
My name is Dan P. from Igondo.
Thank you so much, Dan P. I do appreciate it. All right, 99.3 Nigeria Info. The whole Yoruba names, I don't know it, so don't ask me. We'll wait for him to write the message, then we'll come up with it. But I googled the Ewe Odudu, and it looks like miracle plant. That's what it looks like. Anybody seen the miracle plant? I've been disrespecting that plant until I now realized that. I started reading about it. Like any part of that plant grows. The leaf, the stem, maybe the water. If you put it on sand, it grows. It's like insane leaf. So I know it to be miracle plant, but he says it's Ewe Odudu. Well, we're trying to stay alive around here. It's a minute before commercial break. This is 99.3 Nigeria Info, the sunny side. If you have anything on fibroid, please, because apparently I've gotten, I think it was last week, I did say that a lady sent me a message regarding her inability to afford fibroid treatment, and we know how money is around here. So if there's any way we can help people who have health issues without drinking their blood or even taking money from them, let's do it. What's this life? Like, we leave everything behind. You might as well give it away. After all, you were given. Right? Thank you. I know you're wonderful. I know it's in you to be good. Now, prove it to me. We'll be right back.
Quality talk.
Intelligent conversations.
Always interesting.
So engaging.
Sometimes even mind-boggling.
Nigeria Info. Ask everyone. Anyone.
Imagine being able to buy items that have been on your wish list for so long without having to worry about upfront cash payments. Are you a business looking for maximum market exposure to grow your cash customer base? The first ever small fair in Nigeria is here. Happening on the 17th of August at the Peace Conference Center opposite Nikon Town, Lekki, Lagos from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. At the Small Fair 2024, you can access 500k plus products and do small installment payments. As a business owner, not only do you get to showcase your unique products and services, but you also have an excellent chance to attract new customers and increase your profits. And guess what? Attendance is free. For registration, exhibition, and sponsorship, visit www.smallfair.com. Call 0916-767-2191. When your needs seem far-fetched, remember, you can do small. This fair is proudly organized by Small and sponsored by InterSwitch, Fincra, Cora, Quidax, and Paga.
99.3 Nigeria Info.
Your number one station for talk. Let's talk.
Someone is sending me a picture asking me to confirm the image. Yes, that's the image. The name is Stone Crusher. Someone else is asking me, is this Stone Breaker or Stone Crusher? Where did you hear Stone Breaker? Like, your ear is ringing? No, it's Stone Crusher. It's Stone Crusher. So a gentleman said he had a private area itch, and his nurse sister-in-law told him to get garlic turmeric into a drink. Ginger garlic turmeric. Fantastic. I'm glad you're alive. Okay, so I'm trying to answer as many questions as is possible before the commercial break. This is why your message is long. Like, this is plenty long messages. I believe Stone Crusher leaves you're talking about is also referred to as Stone Breaker leaf. I don't know it as Stone Breaker, but yeah, if you know it, then sure. If you can help someone with that information, that would be good. As for antibiotic resistance, it's clearly bioengineered into the COVID vaccine back in 2020. We're now starting to see the effects 4 years later down the line. Antibiotics weren't efficacious in treating COVID-19, but most people were subjected to it, or subjected to use it in hospitals and isolation centers just to increase the resistance level in human. The vaccines were created to do more harm than good. Well, you decide what you will, just get the information, all right? That's the whole point. Let's have contact of the doctor with the insulin leaves. He didn't give it to me, and I don't know if he would like to meet you, except he wants to meet you. So, Doc, someone wants your contact. If you want to give it to the person, I can be a middleman around here, free of charge. Say, avoid... Good. So someone says, did I hear the man say avoid bitter cola? He did say avoid bitter cola. I must tell you, last night, I haven't quit coffee. So I told you that they say I have high blood pressure. I'm never quitting coffee, just so that we're clear. Good. Now, what's real? And I'm trying other things, and I've realized that they were going to put me on medication. And I asked, so how long am I going to be on medication for? They said forever. I'm like, that's never happening. So I had to start taking herb tea. But I was doing a research last night. And a few people have said it didn't work for them, but most people report that it has worked for them. Guess the plant. Hibiscus. Yeah, that's zobo leaf. That all of you, I wouldn't even see, like I'm just full of disrespect, and God help me. Like you see zobo, you just maybe that year was 50. I don't know now that we have a Tinubu economy, how much they sell it. But you just see the zobo leaf, you just roll your eyes, because we're doing wine and water and coffee, and, we're trying to act all fancy. And I'm reading about it. First of all, I must admit, I love the flavor. Oh, I love, because it reminds me of wine, that tanginess to the wine. So that zobo be giving me that wine tanginess, and why not, right? But then, I read about it. The respect I have for that thing now, it's like a love affair. So if you have blood pressure, I'm not asking you to disrespect your doctor just yet. I'm just saying, try it out. Just do like a step away from your medication 2-3 days. Try it. 2 cups a day. Yeah, because people say that what I read about was people who tried the tea got a better result from those who tried the capsules. But those who say they did capsules said they also got a good feedback. So just put your doctor on pause a little bit. Try 2-3 cups a day. See how your body, check yourself, see how it goes. Because, honey, there are side effects to conventional medicine, and I hope your doctor's honest enough to tell you. And I'm not asking you to quit your medication, but if I can save you money and still keep you alive, that should count for me in heaven somehow. 2 p.m. 99.3 Nigeria Info. My name's Joyce. We're off on a break. We'll be right back.
It's 2 o'clock. 99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info.